everybody, today we are going to talk about two important moments in the history of the United States, the World War II and the 50s, to understand how of the involvement of the United States in the World War II allowed it to become one of the most powerful countries, and the consequences of this improvement of the economy, the boom in the entertainment industry, and the list in fantasy wars.
The World War II started in 1939 when Germany invaded Poland. France and Great Britain declared the war to Germans. Was a void for the United States, but many times. The reason of this is because Americans didn't want to return to the Great Depression.
However, President Roosevelt realized that the war was inevitable and he began to take measures. In 1941, when war had already started, the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor was attacked by a Japanese naval and air force in order to expand their dominance. Then, declaring the war to Japan, the United States took a place in the World War II.
When the United States get into the war, it produced more armament than anyone could imagine. A big military industry, it means that most of the money in the country was directed to the war. However, it was used to improvement in a big way some of the countries' involvement in the war, as Soviet Union, France, and England. So there's countries paid for it, and the United States got a lot of money.
As Joseph Stalin said in a toast, to American production, without which this war would have been lost. In this way, new technologies came and the production of armament increased as faster as possible, getting to create the most lethal weapon in the world. It put the country in a high level in front of others without major consequence.
Also, during the war, United States had a big power when it made an alliance with other three powerful countries, as Soviet Union, France, and Great Britain. These were fighting against their enemies or the Axis power, who were Italy.
This had big consequences. Many people died, and industry and territories were affected. Moreover, United States turns out to be the least affected, despite Americans' men were fighting in the war.
This happened because the majority of the wars attack occurred in Europe, while in the Americas continent, United States was improving and increasing and one of the most important countries.
There were also strategies that these allies created in order to win the war and to have the domain of the whole world. One of them was the development of the atomic bomb, a great lethal weapon that gave way to the Cold War. President Truman said, I regarded the bomb as a military weapon, he said later, and never had any doubt that it should be used. As a result, this weapon gave the biggest power to the countries that obtained it.
The Allies wanted to defeat the Axis because if they surrendered, the Allies would have more money and resources. When the atomic bombs were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan surrendered, Cold War began, and as a result, the Allies, which were the United States, Soviet Union, Great Britain, and France, became more powerful than the Axis power.
On the other hand, most of the Americans were in the army and the lack of manpower in the United States increased. This way, more and more people got jobs without good salaries. This caused a series of protests. As a result, the government had to raise the salaries in order to stop and avoid any strikes. The government had to do this with all the money obtained from work.
Besides this, women took the jobs that American men left to go to the war and obtained a salary too. However, government did not pay them the same as they paid to men.
So, with the raise of salaries, the economy continued growing up into the American society, introducing the vision of a new life perspective. Taking into account what happened with women, we can say that this new life perspective was evident in the intent too.
All the propaganda was made to convince women to go into the workforce. This gave women the opportunity to believe in the women's empowerment. Most of the propaganda showed a girl with red scarf and red lips, a beautiful, hardworking, and powerful woman. But in reality, everything was a marketing strategy because the emergency to lack of workforce was real.
From the end of the World War II in the United States, nobody was rich and nobody was poor. The growing of the industry took a lot of strength due to prosperity that left the war. United States became rich and most of the money was invested in the entertainment industry.
This entertainment industry, that in the past was in the radio and cinemas, was in the 50s in every American home when TV appeared, along with the fantastic stories that it offered. Marketing and propaganda also increased and promoted the ideas about the perfect family, perfect women or men, and in general stereotypes of a perfect life. For example, the entertainment produced movies and propaganda about the ideal women prototype, as Marilyn Monroe was: blonde, blue eyes, perfect body, and overall extremely beautiful. This is an image that represents first the American belief about perfection and also the marketing purpose.
As you know, in the World War II, women start to work in the jobs which men left when they go to the work. But it was promoted through all of the propaganda produced at that time. Some year after, then the United States was in a better position, all of the propaganda purpose changed and they promoted the idea of the other kind of women.
Of course, other changes and improvements in terms of science, technology, education, and business grew up so fast in the country by that time. But Americans started to mix the reality and the fantastic ideas about the perfect and unique country, as you know, like American Dream.
They believed that all they saw in magazines and TV was real, that Disneyland exists in the real world, and that they could get money in an easy way in Vegas. Taking to Marilyn Monroe as an example, we can see that in the movies, in Playboy, and in the other magazines, she was the perfect girl, although she was not. But people just saw what they wanted to see, the perfection.
Marilyn was the imaginary of the perfect woman, but in the real life, she was just a real person with a life of faults and faults. Day by day, her life was full of complexes about her beauty, and the only way she could reach this state of beauty was with makeup, hair dyed, and a charismatic aptitude towards the TV and her fans.
She was put through such pressure in order to maintain her status of sex-symbol that she started to develop insecurities about herself. She began developing symptoms of depression and she became an addict while trying to escape from reality. This whole situation brought her towards her death in 1962 from an overdose.
Part of the money the United States had won during the war was invested in the entertainment industry, which became stronger and a heavy influence over the country. Stereotypes about an American perfect life were reinforced as a consequence of this influence, and an idea of a fantastic, perfect country full of wealth and power was born.